Hey you guys, so today I'm going to be not really reviewing as much, but I just wanted to kind of do 3 looks with one palette with the Jackie AINA ABH collab. It's gonna be a grand old time for all of us. I think that this palette is beautiful. Spoiler alert, I really quite like it. I felt like everything worked pretty well. I'll give you guys more long-form thoughts at the end of the video, but I'm loving life. I think it's fantastic that such a huge company partnered with a woman of color. I think that is quite rare to see, and it's fantastic. Loving life. Great job, Jackie. Great job, Anastasia and Norvina, as always. Let's dive in, and hopefully you're gonna like these looks, because it took a long time, and probably longer to edit. Okay, bye. Let's do this. Okay. Here we are. We're ready and willing. I'm gonna do, gosh, I just don't know. Let me start with Pinker right there. I'm gonna grab that on a Smith 230 brush. And I'm going to take that onto my outer corner and also my inner corner. I don't think I'm gonna connect the crease just yet. I think I'm just gonna leave it for a sec. Now, I'm gonna take a clean brush and I'm going to just kind of start to buff that out a little bit. Where do I want to go from here? I think I'm going to take Credit. So that's this nice dark brown. It has like a little bit of plum to it, which is really nice. I'm going to grab that on a, what brush do I want to use? I'm going to grab that on a Volair E09 brush. And I'm going to just kind of darken up that outer corner. Just a little bit. I can't wait until these eyelash extensions fall out because they're so annoying to do makeup with, as much as I've been loving them. And I don't think I'm going to take that onto my inner corner just because I don't want it to be too dark. But I'm going to grab the Smith 230 brush that we used with Pinker to blend that out. That Pinker is like a really unique color. I've never really used anything quite like it, I feel. Maybe something from the Modern Renaissance palette is kind of similar, but honestly, no, not really. I'm just kind of dotting back and forth between Credit and Pinker on this brush, and I'm just doing that like ever so lightly so I don't pick up too much product. And then what I'm gonna do is take, ooh, where's that brush? I'm gonna take a Smith 235 brush and I'm gonna take the color, oh no! I just scratched it all off. I'm gonna take the color Supreme. And that one I'm gonna take right across the crease. Oh wow, that's not nearly as like intense as I was expecting it to be because it did look super like neon bright in there. See, I can't even really see if this is like properly blended or not because of my eyelash extensions. I'm gonna take a little bit more of that color Pinker just to kind of cover my bases and make sure that I'm blending properly. And I'm gonna bring that onto that outer corner and then back over with that brush. Okay, now let's get into the fun stuff. Okay, I'm gonna use my Anastasia eye primer. Pop a little bit of that onto my palette. And then I'm gonna take just a small little shader brush like that. Oh, I don't wanna get this nice new palette wrecked. Okay, I'm gonna pat that on first in the center of the lid, and then I can kind of pat towards the inner and outer corner once I have a little less product on my brush. I can also go in with my little wee finger. I don't think I want this to be like a super like harsh cut crease or anything, but I just want it to be a little bit brighter under there so that I can really make this next shadow super intense. So what do I want the next shadow to be though? That's the question. I'm gonna take the color Sponsored. I'm gonna grab that on a different brush so that I don't muddy this one. I'm grabbing that on my Smith 253 brush. And I'm going to just pat that on. Oh my god, how interesting. That's so much more green than I thought. In the palette, it looks almost exactly like Club from MAC, if you remember from back in the day, which is like a blue-green shift, but this has a lot more, sorry, a blue-brown shift, Club is, but this has like a lot more green to it. Pretty. Is this color combo looking a little bit like Barney? Like sassy Barney, like Vogue Barney, but still. Did I just do that by accident? Kind of. Oh, whoops, I had a little bit of eyeshadow on my finger from swatching. God damn it. Okay, now what we're gonna do is take that brush the Smith brush that we originally used, the 230, with a little bit of that color Pinker. And I'm just going to kind of dot it over the edges of this, just so that we're creating a nice little fade. Ooh, I think I might take a little bit more of Pinker. No, not Pinker, Supreme. I'm gonna take a little bit more of Supreme and just kind of go right across the crease with that, just to make sure it's nice and blended. I'm feeling this. Okay. I'm getting a little bit of fallout, but nothing insane. It's been a while since I've actually done my foundation before my eyes. I'm a whole new woman. I'm gonna take Pinker on a little shader brush, and I'm gonna bring that underneath my lash line. Beautiful. And then I'm gonna take Supreme on my little fluffy blending brush, and I'm just going to really gently just kind of fade that onto my lower lash line. Perrier break. Okay. I'm gonna take a little bit of Trust Issues, I think. That one right there. It looks like almost white in the pan, but it's more of like it's a translucent kind of like yellow sparkle, I would say. You'll see. Just hold on. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Just a nice little something on that inner corner. I'm just taking one last kind of little smudge around with my brush. Make sure everything's in order. Cool. Let me pop on some Lashes mascara as well as some bronzer, because this face is looking very like moonish right now. And then I'll show you guys the finished look. Okay, so that's the finished first look. I'm kind of digging it. I think it looks pretty dope. It is a little Barney-ish, isn't it? But I just think it's pretty. So far, I really like all the colors in the palette. I feel like they're unique. The color Sponsored, I'm like the most surprised by, because I felt like it was going to look so much like Club. I was like, oh, that's like a throwback, but it looks so much more green on, which is pretty cool. I really like that one. I'm liking this color combo. Don't hate. We're just taking it back to the Barney days, which were simpler times anyways, and worth being enjoyed. A second round. Let's move on. I'm gonna take this off and I'm going to put on another look just for shits. Okay, we're back. We're better than ever. We're ready to do it all over again. I wanted to do a look using the color here, Lituation, because it was the color that I was like the least intrigued by when I was seeing pictures and stuff like that of the palette before I got it. And then when I got it, I was like, oh, okay, that's actually pretty nice. So I'm excited to try it out. It looks really pretty. I'm gonna do like a super simple, really chill, quick makeup look for the days where you just wanna like whip it on, but you still wanna look nice. You know what I mean? So Credit is the dark brown, Lituation is the fun one. Okay, let's take this on a Sigma E21 brush. I'm gonna take Credit first. And I'm gonna put that across my upper lash line in kind of like a wing shape. I'm gonna take it all the way across. We're gonna ignore the fact that my concealer is creasing. It just is what it is. See what I'm saying here? See what I'm going for? Just like that. Damn, that actually looks like, that's a pretty fucking nice wing I just whipped out really quick there. Other side. Wow, that side did not go as smoothly as the other side did. It doesn't matter though. This doesn't have to be perfect. We're gonna go over top of it. I just wanted to like put down a kind of like dark base right on that lash line. It's just disappointing because this side was so perfect. God damn it. Well, you know what, whatever. You can't win them all. What is this? There we go. I'm gonna take maybe a Smith 253 again, and I'm gonna take the color Lituation, and I'm going to just press that. I'm gonna take it like right above where we put that brown down, and I'm going to just press it right onto my lid going all the way across. And we're just taking it right to that crease. Now, I'm gonna take a little bit of a denser brush. I'm gonna grab my Sonia Kashuk 116 brush, and I'm just going to use that to kind of like buff out the edges of this. Actually, I can pick up a little bit on there, just on the very end. So I'm just buffing that out. The thing that I liked about this color is that it's quite like a dark base on my skin tone, but it has like a lighter reflect to it, which is nice because when you go to blend it out, it doesn't really look that dark. You know what I mean? Like you can kind of blend it out and just be using that one shadow, but it creates like a really nice gradient. Do you see what I'm saying here? See? I think that color works great. This did exactly what I wanted it to do. And I just think that's kind of a nice color. Again, like it strikes me as a more unique color. When I saw it in pictures, I was like, oh, that looks like that brown color that like no one's gonna end up using. You know what I mean? Like that weird kind of like, it's sort of shimmery, but it's not quite a foil. Just that color. But then I saw it in person and I was like, this is beautiful. Like it's a nice kind of like, it's like a taupe, but it has like light kind of purple undertones to it. It would probably be really pretty paired with Smoke from Hourglass, one of my favorite scattered light shadows. I'm gonna pick up a little bit more of that color just to intensify it on the lid there. And I can just press that right on. Like that with a little bit of Smoke pressed right down the center. Okay, I'm gonna take a clean brush and I'm just going to run over the edges of that just to make sure that we're as blended as we can be. Now, I'm gonna take the same little smudger brush and I'm going to bring that color Credit all the way across. I haven't been making sure that I'm in frame, so hopefully I have been. And then I'm taking that kind of right on my inner corner. So we're bringing it across that entire lash line, almost as if we were like, you know, doing eyeliner in the waterline, but we're taking it underneath the lash line instead. Just to make the eyes a little bit bigger, we're not closing them off the same way that it would feel if we put that color right in the waterline. And I just think it's kind of makes for like a nice unique look. I'm gonna take a little shading brush from Real Techniques and I'm gonna take that clean and just kind of buff that color out. Man, I love that matte brown. It's so nice. It just has like the lightest kind of like purpley red to it. Maybe I'll take a little bit of the color Soleil right there. And I'll grab that on a tiny little shader brush and just bring that into my inner corner. And I'm just blending it upwards. I just want the tiniest little bit of an inner corner highlight. I like this look. I feel like it's a little grungy. Let me pop on my mascara and lashes, and then I'll show you guys when it's all finished. Okay, that's look 2, just super quick and easy. I like that I like it. I don't have any descriptors for it really. Nice and smoky. It's fast, cheap, quick, easy, gentle, nice. I really like that color on the lid. I think it's really beautiful. It's super easy to just kind of like quickly pop on the lid and blend out for just like using one color and not having to go in and mess around with transition shades. I think that one's so gorgeous. I really like the formula of it, and that matte brown is my heart and soul. This is my second look. Hope you guys dig it. Let's move on to the third look because this is going to be using the shade that I'm most excited about. First chef's kiss of the video. Let's do it. I'm ready. The color, dog hair on my palette. The color that I was most excited about is this bad boy right here. Zam. It's just calling my name, you know? I'm gonna do the most neutral look you've ever seen and you're gonna like it, okay? Get off my back. Let's start with a Smith 230 brush. I'm gonna grab the color Ginger to start. I kind of can't remember how I do this look, but I'm trying to do something tricky. We'll just see how it goes. I'm gonna take that color, I'm gonna pat it down. I'm wanting to do like a sort of triangle of magic. I wanna do like a triangle kind of highlight down the center of my lid. So I'm gonna kind of put this down with that in mind. So inner and outer corner, leaving a triangle shaped hole in my heart. Damn, that color's like blending out really beautifully. Okay, I'm going for it. I'm just gonna keep blending out with that same brush that I used to apply. I'm gonna take a clean brush and I'm going to just blend over top of everything. I'm gonna take it up a little higher. I'm not being shy. And we're just leaving that crease like across the center open. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of the color edges and I'm going to just add that for a little bit more darkness to the inner and outer corner. And then same thing, I can take a big friggin' brush and just blend over top. I'm gonna wait to see if I want to add more darkness anywhere, because I might add a little bit of that color credit, but we'll just see. I'm gonna take this little brush that we use to apply our eye primer, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna grab the eye primer on like the very tippity top of my brush, and I'm going to first just dot a line going vaguely up the center of the lid. I'm going to kind of blend that outwards, making the top really nice and in charge. And then once we get to that center of the lid, I'm keeping it a little bit tighter to that center line. See what I'm going for here? Are we all understanding the mission? Same thing on my other little eyeball. Okay, and now that we have our primer down, we can take a little brush with some of that color ginger on it and just kind of stipple that over that primer just to make sure that we're gonna have a nice blend. It's probably not gonna look very nice right now. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be fine, I'm hoping. We're gonna grab the most beautiful shade in the palette by far. It's perfect. I'm gonna use this Hakuhodo brush. It's a J134H brush, and I'm gonna pick that guy up. And I'm going to, oh, this is way too big of a brush. Let's not be crazy. I'm gonna pick up my smaller little shader brush, and I'm going to pat that just down the center of the lid and then dragging it out in that kind of triangle shape the higher up we go. And I'm just tapping any excess I have off my brush and making sure that we're not going to get any fallout on our lovely foundation. And then I'm just going in and intensifying. This is a lot more like subtle of what I've done of this like kind of look in the past, but I'm digging it. I'm gonna take that same color that we just took, same brush that we just took ginger on, and I'm going to just kind of dot over top of those inner and outer corners again. Pick up a little bit more product if we need to. Just dotting that on. And then I think I'm gonna grab a little bit of the color Soleil. So that's the lighter color. And I'm gonna bring that down the center just to make that even more intense. And I'm bringing that like friggin' right up to my brow bone, just not even really giving a dang. So I always kind of start when I'm applying, whether it's the primer or the eyeshadow, I'm kind of just going upwards in that line and then blending out from that center line. I'm feeling that. Is that matching? Yeah, actually. Surprisingly it is. We really pulled it together for this one. Okay, I'm gonna take the color Credit, which is that dark brown, and I'm just gonna grab that on just like an angle brush. I'm gonna take that across my upper lash line just to darken it up a little tiny bit. Sunset vibes, that's what I'm getting right now. Underneath my eyeballs, I'm going to grab a little bit of what do I want to do? Maybe ginger? Okay, let me grab a little smudgy brush. And I'm going to grab the color, well, wait. Maybe I'll grab a little bit of edges first. So that's the one that's like a little bit more red. And I'm going to bring that right underneath. And then I think I'm going to add a little bit of Credit underneath too. My stomach is so hungry for pasta. I don't even really know what to do with myself. Okay, so I just went over top with a little bit of Credit, and then I'm going to take that color Ginger now and just buff over top. This is probably a little bit too dense of a brush for this, but it's too late now, we're in too deep. Do you see this little lash get back in place? I'm gonna take a little bit of Trust Issues on the inner corner. That's that sheer kind of goldy thing we had going on. Just a little bit, just for a little something. Dang, okay. Let me take this brush and buff over everything first and foremost. And then I'm gonna pop on my lashes and mascara, and I'll show you guys the finished look. All right, you guys, that is the final look. I think it's my fave look, probably because it's the most neutral. I mean, what can I say? Unpredictable. Okay, let me tell you my thoughts on this here palette. So, Overall, I really quite like this palette. I feel like a lot of the colors in here are actually quite unique. I know some of the critiques online was that like this like looks like every other Anastasia palette, which I don't agree with, I guess. I've tried almost all of the Anastasia palettes, and I feel like a lot of these colors in here actually stood out to me as feeling a lot more unique than other things I've tried. Pinker in particular and Sponsored are two shades that I feel like are quite unique for me, as well as Lituation actually is a little bit more unique too. So I really like the palette overall. I don't think I'll get much use out of those purples, but I think they're great. So they're there if you want them. I think that this palette is going to be beautiful, of course, across almost every skin tone. For those of you that are paler, I feel like these colors build up really, really beautifully. So you can kind of just go in with a lighter hand if you feel like a lot of the colors are a little bit too dark on you. And I kind of was surprised by a lot of those matte shades because I was able to make it look almost like I was using multiple shadows with only using one shadow. When I was putting down ginger for this look, for instance, I felt like I could kind of build that up and keep building it up and keep building it up and use specific placement, and I could have probably done the entire look with just that one shade, which is really nice. It makes it a lot more versatile. This is gonna work beautifully just kind of naturally on those of you with deeper skin tones, but if you are a little bit paler, you can kind of make it work for you if you're drawn to that color scheme. I didn't have any issues with any of the formulas in particular. I don't feel like any of them had any significant amount of fallout. This color right here, Wigglese, is so close. It's almost like spot on to that like bright red shade from that one Pat McGrath palette. If you've been looking at that palette because you want that specific shade, this is like, it's almost exactly the same side by side. So if you've been looking at that palette and wanting that shade, and that's like the one shade that stood out to you in that palette, there it is for you. I think that's it. I think that's all my thoughts on the palette. I don't really have much. It's good. A lot of the Anastasia palettes have a pretty like reliable, consistent formula. With subculture aside, obviously, that was a little bit of a toss-up for people. But yeah, this one's pretty consistent with like modern Renaissance formula, all that kind of stuff. So I like it. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. I could actually see myself kind of digging this out and keeping it on my desk to use. I really like the warm brown shades, of course. I love these two shimmers here, they're beautiful. Trust Issues I really, really like. It goes a little bit green on me for my liking, so it could pair really well with Sponsored, but I don't know that I would use that one as much as I would if it was like a true kind of yellow gold on me. And then this color here, I love it, so great. So there you have it. 8.5, love and life. I hope this video gave you some inspiration as to what to do with your palette if you ended up picking it up. If you did, let me know your thoughts on it. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Tell me your feelings. We can talk about it. Free therapy sesh, but only about makeup. Okay, thanks so much, guys. I will see you next time. Peace out.